today we're talking with Denise Mestanza Taylor with Tampa Bay Homeschool Inclusive Events, which is exciting. And I know, of course, Denise on a whole other level, but we'll talk about that in a second. I'm Patricia, and this is Tony.
Tony,
I know
thank
it is
you.
a delay. Okay.
And so thank you for coming on.
Yeah, thanks, Denise.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
Thank you. So, tell us a little bit what inspired you to start your nonprofit.
Wow. So, all right, let's we got to go way back in the way back machine. Okay, so I am a mom of queer kids. So my oldest now is 23, but I was supporting them in their journey through middle school, high school, all that. So I started homeschooling my youngest, who is now 14. I started homeschooling him in 2018 when he was 8, just before he started going into 3rd grade. And, proms, homecoming, graduation, none of this was on my radar because I had 2 kids in public school and homeschooling my one child who had special needs that couldn't be met in school. So that's what prompted me to become a homeschool mom. So then I was homeschooling him. 2020 happens. Now I have 2 homeschoolers, high schoolers, in addition to my youngest. So I had a senior, a 9th grader, and at the time was a 5th grader. So, and I've always been involved in the homeschool community since I became a homeschool mom, but it was always in the back of my mind that there were only faith-based homeschool events, many faith-based homeschool events. And being a mom of an LGBT teen, I knew that is not necessarily always a welcoming space. But just like I said, put it in the back of my mind because it didn't really impact me. And then 2020 happened, and now I have homeschool high school students. So, so I just, things were shut down. My senior graduated in 2020 to a, lackluster graduation. But then my then 9th grader decided not to return to high school because of the chaos that was happening with the live learning and all that. So she became in 2021, the fall of 2020, I now had a 10th grader and a 6th grader at home. So, so I thought, well, I have queer teens. I can't send them in good conscience to a faith-based homecoming dance or graduation or anything like that. So now I started, and things were still closed, so it wasn't happening anyway. So I was just kind of like watching and thinking, maybe I need to make this happen. Maybe I need to make a high school prom happen. And I put my feelers out into the community, and sure enough, other moms felt the same way. Other parents, I should say, felt the same way that I did, in that this was a much needed event in our homeschool community. And so the very first year, our first prom was April 2021, and we sold out. So then, yeah, I put it that way. So then going into the fall of 2021, we decided that, okay, now we need to add some events. So that year we added homecoming, and then we had our second prom, all sold out. And then my son was feeling left out and said to me, Mom, hey, when are you going to do a middle school dance? So all right, fine. Nothing else going on. Let's do this. So then we, in the fall of 2022, we added homecoming, middle school dance, prom, and then
very nice.
And then this past spring, we added a graduation. So we have 4 major events: homecoming, middle school dance, prom, and graduation in a school year. So it's very exciting.
That's amazing.
It's well received in the homeschool community. Yeah. Again, we sell out every time. It's crazy. Graduation is a little different because it's just a very small number of students that possibly could be graduating. So we didn't quite sell out for graduation, but it was still well received and by the community. And we had our first graduating class, and that was so exciting.
That's beautiful. That is beautiful.
Thank you. Yeah. So to get back to your question, the reason why I started it is always like how, we do these things, how they impact us. So like we recognize a need, we saw a need, and that need
found a solution.
The need became a solution. Absolutely.
Awesome.
That's fantastic.
Oh, and
Yeah,
I forgot to mention that we became a nonprofit in right after that first prom. So that first prom was Homeschool Inclusive Prom, and then we formed a board to become Tampa Bay Homeschool Inclusive Events, knowing that we would add more events. So we have an actual board. We're a 501c3. Yeah, all of that.
Yeah, so it's just going to keep growing and growing. So that's
Absolutely. Yeah,
Yeah.
and we run by volunteers, so you know, so we are always looking for people to step up and help us. If your teens need Bright Future hours for, you know, volunteer hours for those scholarships, we welcome them to come and help with our events. And even though we are homeschool, we welcome private and public schools students to come and join our activities. You know, because inclusive means all, so we welcome all.
that's awesome.
Lovely. Yeah.
Yeah, and we'll have all the links in the description, where people want to learn more and whatnot, and see how if they want to volunteer or join. I'm sure Denise wants to give me some of those links after we're done here.
Absolutely.
So I know you do a lot of other projects also. What else are you working on?
I spin a lot of plates. Yeah. So I also, you know, I'm a mom blogger, influencer, fitness influencer. So I'm a group fitness instructor. I teach fitness classes in my homeschool co-op. You know, as well as having this online persona as a mom fitness influencer, homeschooler mom. I'm actually one of the original Tampa Bay mom bloggers. There's not many of us. I know. Yeah, original. Like,
I know.
you know, because I've been at this for like 16 years. Crazy. So yeah, I'm like, you know, social media is not going anywhere. You know, if you want to sell what you do, you've got to be in the space of social media marketing. So you know, as much as, you know, we have a love-hate relationship with social media, you've got to tap into that marketing, you know, because you've got to reach your audience in every means. So on social media, Run DMT, and my blog is denisesrundmt.com. And so I, you know, I share like healthy lifestyle, homeschool tips. It's just a lifestyle blog.
And you took your blogging to the next level with you know, video, right? So
yeah. And then I run a blogging network, Tampa Bay Bloggers. So we have about 300 you know, bloggers and influencers in that network, and my role is to connect those bloggers and influencers with brands who are looking to promote their products and services. So we work with a lot of restaurants, and a lot of small businesses, boutiques, theme parks. Busch Gardens is one of our partners. Straws is one of our partners. I think who else? Big names. You know, like it's brand awareness. So like we've worked with Land's End, we've worked with Sweet Greens, all kinds of just everything. So it's fun.
Yeah, no, and what got you started with that, with the collaborations with the brand?
Oh, now you know this. This is a fun story. So Patricia and I go way back, and we have known each other.
I appreciate you. Yeah. Yeah, I really do. I do, because go ahead. How do I know you? Right? Through
okay, so yes, Moms on the Go. So yeah, I have a real knack for just seeing a need and just filling that void. That is my special power. Like my superpower is just like, what do you need? I'm there. So Patricia and I were in a mom's group together, and I ran that mom's group. Gosh, I don't know. I've been in the mom's group space. My oldest is 23, so it started like 20 plus years ago. I mean, like 23 years ago when they were born, and so, you know, I've always was, you know, in Brooksville, I was in the Mothers Club and I was the president of that group. So when I moved to Land O'Lakes, I started Moms on the Go and nurtured and grew that. And then it was through Meetup, and we had an online forum, and I would share these ridiculous stories of what was happening with my own kids, and many people said to me, you need to be blogging. Like, you are a great writer. You need to be blogging. And that's when people were like, what's a blog? Like, what is that? It was in the early 2000s, and people didn't know what that was. And so, I created my blog, Run DMT, which became a place for me to share I was a runner at the time and I was training for marathons. So I was sharing my mom's stories and my marathon training stories. And it just kept me accountable for that training. And then as that space morphed, like think Pinterest, because blogs in the beginning were just stories, just the words on the screen, and maybe a tiny little image because no one had the bandwidth to download these images. Then Pinterest enters the scene, and now you have to make your blogs hittable, right? So you've got to add these gorgeous photos, something with a little like text above the screen, above the image, so that people will pin the image and put it on their Pinterest boards. And so to go back
kind
to
of like the YouTube thumbnails, right? You got to get that one that jumps out.
Yeah. So really, like, as everything came to be, like YouTube, okay, now you need to be on YouTube and sharing these vlogs, So like when I tell you I was in this space from the get-go, like, I'm a dinosaur compared to some of these influencers who have just like jumped in there and have been online for like 3 months and already have 1 million followers,
Yeah.
But we can't get discouraged, right? That's the whole thing of what you guys are trying to say. Like you're just put yourself out in the void. It's going to resonate with someone. It's going to bring someone to your page. So, yeah,
with whoever you need to connect with,
exactly.
And there's not, there's multiple, there could be multiple coaches, multiple trainers, and it's who you.
Oh my gosh!
Right? Yeah.
Do you follow any fitness influencers? Hello, like how does anyone hear your voice in the void? You know what I mean? Like and that's a whole other conversation, right? You're just like, you can have a megaphone and scream into the void, but you've got to do something that is gonna bring people to you. So it's really hard. It's really hard. And if I may say, because me, Patricia, we go way back, as we said, authenticity is key. If it looks false, if it looks fake, if it looks like you're trying too hard, you're going to lose your followers. You're going to lose people. Yeah. It's not
going to see right through that. Yeah, they can definitely.
So I think I can say, and you'll probably back me, what you see is what you get online with me. That's my personality. And probably, if anything, I scale it back a little, like me in real life. And I'm a little,
like, tone it down a little bit. You tone it down?
A little bit.
Like I always show my mug here. You know what I mean? This is my express.
Yes, exactly.
I'm keeping it real. We're keeping it real.
Yeah, really I'm like fireworks and pizza and glitter. That's me. So, but yeah, like you just, it's not, like I said, it's not going anywhere, and you've got to keep up with it. Who are you following to know what the algorithms are doing this week? And
it's a tool, right? So who you're following is also a tool. You're learning from each other and you're inspiring each other. So it's the same conversation no matter what your niche is, no matter what your profession is, whatever your hobbies are. It's the same everything where, and it's just understanding that and using social media as a tool. I mean, yes, it's fun to follow and watch and, a little bit of time into that, but you can do so much more, right?
Yeah. I have a whole folder of screenshots of ideas. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, oh, that's a great caption. Let me screenshot that and save it for later, and figure out how I'm going to tweak it for my own use, or screenshot that tip, and like, let me remember that for later, as well as saving it.
Pocket? Have you heard of Pocket?
No. Tell me more.
Yeah, because Tony and I use Pocket all the time. So it's basically whatever video we see, we want to, it's instead of messaging each other or texting each other, it's in Pocket. So it's kind of like pinning, I guess, but.
Oh, I'm going to look into that.
Yeah.
That's cool. So I don't flood my friend's inbox on Instagram. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Got it. I do save a lot of reels too. Like I have a folder, I have a bookmark on Instagram that says real ideas,
I mean, that's how it works, and I think even to that, people watch, it evolved from TikTok to reels, right? A little bit.
Right.
And there's kind of like, the misconception of trending or copying other people's, you're just being inspired. You want to use
Yes, I
you want to
I
follow those,
really hate that. I really hate
yeah.
that. And that's like really gets under my skin when
But I
people
think it's
say,
the
"Oh, they
audience.
copied it." Dude,
Yeah.
we live in a world where people sample music. Is that count? Is that copying? You like that beat, right? You hear. I just heard this new song. I can't remember the name of it. It's Ice Ice Baby. Do you know what I'm talking about? But
Vanilla
it's
Ice, of course.
yeah, but no, but it's oh gosh, got my baby or something like that. And it, I'm sorry people. I don't mean to be killing brutal, chopping this song up. It's I just heard it. It's a new song. It's sampling Ice Ice Baby, which we know is sampling Queen, right?
Yeah.
It's dun
Yeah.
dun 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 dun, right? That's not copying. That's it's called sampling. I'm sampling this. When I stitch, I'm sampling. Hello? Just change the way you think,
And I
people.
see it. I see the sharing, right? You're sharing that stitch to your
Sharing.
audience. You're not sharing
Right.
it
And
to
they're so
or doing
right.
it to just show yourself, right? I mean, that's not
Right.
the purpose behind it.
Right. And hello, it taps into the algorithms. They want you to stay on this platform. So if you are stitching a video or doing a duet on TikTok or whatever, you are tapping into that person's followers trends because they see that you've stitched it, and Instagram favors that, so, and TikTok shares it. So guys, you got to work the
Why not?
system. Come on.
Oh yeah, it's strategy. It's strategy
Right.
and a framework, and it really is
Right.
step by step, and learn from each
Yeah,
other.
so I think it's important to point out because I of course sidetracked and squirrel, but but I
That's me 100%. That's me 100%.
it's important for me to point out that because I have an online persona as Run DMT, and I also have a persona as Tampa Bay Bloggers, which is TBLRGGRS on Instagram, and I'll give you that link. Those are two different voices, right? Like
Yeah.
Tampa Bay Bloggers represents a community. So everything is a we pronoun. Everything is like, we love this, our bloggers, that kind of stuff, to be a collective voice, right? Run DMT is this online person who shares fitness tips and motivates people to live their healthy life. Now I also have an online persona for Tampa Bay Homeschool Inclusive Events, and that's TB_HIVE. And that persona is not, yeah, it's a group of parents running it, but I'm also trying to be like, hey, I'm a cool mom. I'm not like a regular mom. I'm a cool mom. Like,
you are a cool mom. You're the mom with hugs. You're always there for hugs.
Yes, free hugs. Yeah. So again, different voice, right? Like I'm trying to be, trying to tap into what's going to bring students to our events to make them feel safe and welcome. So I have to tap into what the kids are doing, the teens are into, so whatever the new song is, that kind of stuff.
So if you're having a local business and you want to partner with a influencer brand, what should they look out for? What should they be doing?
Okay, so what they need to do is they need to decide what it is exactly they want to promote. So if they need butts in seats, like I want people coming into my restaurant, I need to up my sales. It's summer and we're really seeing a lull. Come to me and say, okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do a sample menu. We're going to do all these offerings, and then in exchange, I would hope that the bloggers or influencers would share a reel, maybe some static posts. You have to decide what it is you want them to promote and what it is you're asking for them to do. Because a lot of people are like, oh, I don't know, just tell me what you want. No, you tell me what you want. You're the business owner. What do you need help promoting? And also, it's really sweetens the deal if you offer the bloggers something like a gift card to return, a gift card to give away, or if you're a boutique, a little boutique gift card, a boutique basket of like little tchotchkes that, only your boutique sells, like if you
Sure.
focus on Tampa items, and everything in the stores, like zip codes and 813 pillows, and what can the bloggers promote about your boutique that is unique? And because every blogger is gonna and every influencer is gonna have a different way that they promote it. So you got to be open to what they share and let them have that creativity to allow the juices to flow. But you have to be concrete with your asks. And I think that's where a lot of businesses don't understand. They just think that hey, help me promote it and work your magic. And you're like,
Right.
"Ugh."
Right. And have the line up door. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and then they can reach out to me directly at Tampa Bay Bloggers at gmail.com, and I can match the influencers to their requests. So that's the other thing
Uh-huh.
is like if you are a play place for preschoolers, these like you bring your kids and you have like music and movement time or something like that, or it's like an open play space. I know there's one that just opened in Land Lakes, and I was like, well, damn, where was this when we had kids, right, Patricia?
I know.
And have all the way to New Tampa. So anyway, if you have something like that, that's not going to be, you're not going to want the cool, million follower influencer who's promoting hair products. You know what I mean? Like you need to be realistic with the influencer that matches your brand. And I think a lot of people just want the numbers rather than who the audience is. They see a lot of these
You want
numbers.
instant results too, right?
Right. And so like if I'm a mom influencer with preschoolers and I come out to your place and I'm sharing this reel of all the fun things that we're doing and I'm sharing it with my friends have friends, they're sharing it, they're passing it along in their little Instagram inbox messaging, and that's what you need to do. And I also want to say, people get hung up on the numbers. It's about engagement. It's not about how many followers someone has, because I'm what they would call a micro influencer on Instagram, and I can make just as sometimes as big of impact as a larger following.
For sure.
A lot of people buy their followers, so that's not even a real number, or they buy their likes, so that's not a real number, and that's a whole other thing.
Yeah. We haven't. That's not our.
Yeah, we've always said like you don't want to go viral. You want to just become the local expert in whatever you're doing. Yeah.
Right.
And
that's exactly right, because somebody might have like tens of thousands of followers, but if you're a local business in Tampa Bay, how is that impacting your business? If they're sharing it and like people are like, well, I don't live in Tampa, I don't really care.
Right. And I think that's something
maybe I need to get to Tampa, let me save this and put it on my Tampa travel tips board, or something like that. But that's pretty much it.
For us, like, with new agents coming on board or, coming onto social media for business, right? They're just now starting off and kind of in all different directions on, brand yourself or show your personality, of course, be authentic. But I think there is that line of who your direct audience is, because you and I, we've had to kind of do the same thing where we have the Pasco Tampa vibes for the Tampa Bay real estate audience, right? And then the engaged agent is geared for real estate agents worldwide.
Yeah. Well, and I feel like, a lot of agents, maybe they should tap into, like, they're just doing the whole big picture, and maybe your niche is, you're an empty nester and you can cater to an audience that is, looking for that 55 and up community. Maybe that allows families, because you're a multiple family home, I mean, like, sell yourself, because real estate, everybody's in real estate now. I mean, there's a lot of real estate agents right now. So how are you differentiating yourself in that audience? I mean, it's like fitness coaches, right? We're everywhere.
Right. No, but it's showing a person. It's video. It really is video, I think, and then showing that authentic video. So showing your flaws, your personality,
exactly
above, and I think people definitely resonate with that and want to connect with that. I know I can see through, a lot of BS, right? So
and absolutely. And when you see a real estate ad and a listing agent is there, and you just see their little headshot, what if I want to see, are they going to get my personality? Are they going to understand my sarcastic comments? Are they going to gel with me? And you just throw a dart in the dark when you call an agent, and you're like, you don't know what you're getting. So it'd be really cool to see what they look like before you call them, before you reach out via email on a listing.
For sure.
So you said you were at a coffee shop. Which coffee shop is that?
Ybor City Coffee and Tea.
Nice.
Oh, very cool.
I love this coffee shop. They're so sweet here.
And are you tea or coffee? Tea or coffee drinker?
Both. So like I allow myself 1 cup of coffee, and I only get, this is really funny, I only drink coffee when I'm out, like in a coffee shop, and it has to be locally owned coffee.
Yeah, nice ambiance.
I don't do the big chains. But this one is really cool because it's like right across the street from the State Museum, which if you've never been, it's a cool little park about the history of Ybor. They call it a State Museum Park, so it's listed on the State Park website, but it's a museum, and it's like $4 to get in, and it's really, really cool. It's a perfect little weekend thing to do. Like if you've got like a little day and you don't know what to do yourself, you go down to the State Museum, visit that, then go and get yourself a Cuban, right? Come here, get coffee, go get a Cuban at La Segunda or the Columbia restaurant.
Right. Then you can hop on the trolley and head downtown.
There's another little speakeasy too. What's the name of it? Madame Fortune or something like that.
I haven't been there, yeah.
Oh, it's Black owned, and it just has like a fake front, and then you go in and it's a massive bar in the back, and I think it's 7th and Grove. They serve the sandwiches and stuff in there. I haven't been there yet. I really, really, really want to try it though.
All right, well, call me.
Yes.
Oh yeah, nice. And,
anytime. We should have met here next time we meet.
I know. But again, this is the beauty that we're trying to show, because everyone has such busy lives and does wear so many hats, right? So it's hard to be at so many different places, and what we're trying to do is just show you how to save time. Really, do the same thing.
Right.
It's virtual networking. It's virtual cross promoting. And
I mean, these are the things we learned in COVID, right? We didn't need to be everywhere virtual, and existing in a virtual space is a great thing. So
but real life's good too. Right?
Yeah, I love real life. Yeah.
Oh.
And did we hit all the marks?
I think we covered most of it.
Because we kind of we talked about social media and technology. Is there? Oh, I wanted to ask you, since you do make a lot of videos, do you make it within the app, or do you use something else?
Yeah, I do use CapCut for all the silly trending memes. Like I just did Maya Rudolph with like, "That's my girl." I love that one. And then so that it created in CapCut, and CapCut is so great. If you've never used it, I don't know, I'm talking to your viewers, I know you guys probably use it. CapCut is brilliant, because if you're like wondering like, where is everyone getting this Matthew McConaughey, or what's his name, Bradley Cooper, where are they getting this dude? How are they doing it? You go into CapCut, you search Bradley Cooper, and then you'll have like all these different Bradley Cooper, and it's green screen. So you just upload your image. Like I could take a screenshot of this of the Ybor City coffee shop and upload it, and then Bradley Cooper's standing right there in the Ybor coffee shop,
hanging out with you,
hanging out, like, hey, why are we here? Oh, like that kind of thing. And so, so it makes it so easy, and then you put your text in it. Now, sometimes I will say, sometimes Instagram doesn't like you using third-party stuff. So I got sneaky, I got tricky. So I create the video, right? And download it, upload it, and then type in my text in Instagram.
Yes.
Instagram
native text. Yeah.
I use their text, and then Instagram's like, oh, she made this in our thing, and then they share it. So it's fun to jump on those trends. Those trends are funny, like, and goodness, like I did the stupid, it's gonna be mine. I did that one. That got like 10,000, I think it's like 12,000 views on Instagram. It was ridiculous. And then I think
Yeah.
it hit a million. It hit 1 million on TikTok. That's insane.
Wow.
That's insane.
That is
Yeah.
crazy.
Again,
No, it's crazy good,
again,
but yeah.
micro influencer. I do not have tens of thousands of followers. So you just
Yeah,
tap
and
into
it's-
what's happening.
And it doesn't have to be well produced or perfect lighting, perfect camera. You know, it's
Yes. Raise your
Right.
hand. Raise your hand if you have a hard time doing things because you don't have it perfect.
Right?
Do
everybody,
you know how
right?
many
Yeah.
reels? Do you know how many reels I have sitting in my draft folder because I'm like, oh, I don't know, it's not right. It doesn't look good.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah,
upload it.
Let it go.
You can
Yeah.
always delete it if it doesn't do what you want. Just delete it.
Yeah.
Who cares? So, what's another thing about?
But I did hear that. I mean, I think, I don't know, but with these apps, specifically, let's say TikTok, if you start deleting a lot of videos, then you're kind of taken away from your engagement within the app.
I don't do it all the time.
And they
I
say
agree.
private it more than delete
Yeah.
it. Just put it set it as
Listen.
private.
Here's a little tip that I'm gonna post out on that I just realized the other day because again I have 3 different handles on mine. I open the video and I leave it running, right? The reel. I'm in as one of my people, one of my many personalities on Instagram. I leave it open and let it run in the background. So it's like, so if you have a friend, a real estate agent, or a small business owner who sends you a reel that says, hey, could you give this some likes? Could you add a comment? Do that solid for your friend. And also leave the reel running in the background, especially if it's a 10-second reel. Like seriously, turn down the volume, leave it running, let your
Turn
friend
the phone
get
down.
the
Yeah.
views. Let your friend get the views. Like, do your friend a solid. You know, maybe you can't afford to buy a house from your friend, or maybe you can't afford to shop in their boutique because money is tight. Reels cost nothing. Do your friend a solid and watch their reels for them. That is the
Yeah.
best thing you can do for someone who's trying to make, you know, an impact, engagement, you know, gaining engagement online. Just do that.
Right.
It's like,
Right.
it's a low level ask, man.
It is. It's a hard ask for some, though, right? So that's
No,
why.
no,
but there's
we're
always,
asking right now. We're asking right now. Watch my dang reels.
Yeah. No, because it's not just so much liking it. It is more watch time than liking it, right? So if you
It is,
don't
right.
watch the video and you just, you know, oh, I liked her video,
Right.
it doesn't help. You know, it helps a little bit,
Especially like
but
if your
it's
friend,
watch
like
time.
the sweet spot, if you know, is the 5 to 10 second reels, right? And then maybe 30 seconds if you've got more to say. If it goes beyond that, it's not, Instagram's not feeding it through the you know, the feed,
Real world.
you know, right, real world. So I, you know, even if it's a minute long reel, just go watch your friend's dang reel and let it run in the background. You know, just let it and then, you know, I mean, if you have a sister, brother, a family member who is not watching your reels, I'm gonna say it, they don't love you.
You know, I mean, but it's a hard truth though, really,
don't
because like
believe in
that's
you. We believe in you. We watch your reels.
we support you for sure. You know, and we do. You and the best way to support is to share, right? If you can
Right.
share it
I mean,
out and
Yeah, if you feel a topic is so long where it can't fit in the 15, 30 seconds, make a YouTube video, make something longer,
Yeah.
and then just
Yeah.
cut it up, you know, small little clips,
Yeah.
you know.
And honestly, you should be adding, you should not be in one platform. You should have stuff on all the platforms. So if you make a reel, upload it to Google Shorts. You know, I mean, here's the thing.
are you
We don't-
repurposing your videos?
Absolutely. You should.
I mean, through
it goes-
repurpose data, like through an automation, I guess is what I mean.
No,
Like
I
you
haven't done
automate
that.
your video. Okay.
No,
That's
no.
a game changer.
Oh, we're going to have to talk offline. Or if there's a video that I
No,
didn't watch, you need to send
we'll
it to
talk
me.
about it. Yeah. We have a webinar on it.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
And
okay.
one of the automation things we use is a software called repurpose.io. And what they do is so if you upload it to say TikTok, it'll download that video, take off any watermark, and upload it to Instagram, upload it to YouTube Shorts, upload it to
Nice.
a bunch of others, and copy the description
Oh,
over
that's
and all that
LinkedIn,
stuff.
X,
Yeah, it
Snapchat.
saves so much
Yeah.
time for us.
Yes, and I am a huge fan. Speaking of repurposing, I'm a huge fan of Canva. And if
Mhm.
you do not own a business account on Canva, that you need to go and do that right now, because that is a game changer. Just alone for the magic switch to go from creating something in an Instagram size to making it click a button, and now the AI technology makes it into an Insta story.
Yeah. I mean, we're taking ChatGPT, right? And
Yeah,
creating
so
tools
we're
from
integrating, we're
that.
using the
Yeah,
we're making
it's
stuff in
right.
ChatGPT, having it automatically go into Canva.
Yes.
So all those tools are just so helpful.
It
It's
is
time saving.
time saving.
Yeah.
Yes, it's time saving, and so that's the
Cool.
key.
That's so cool. All right.
So
So
we were talking. The last one I saw that you have on here is how has social media or technology impacted your business, and I think
Yeah.
the biggest thing for each of for each of my online accounts is, like I said, that they have a different audience, and I have to make sure that what I'm sharing in those accounts matches the audience, or
correct.
my followers. So and our dances and our events, those are primarily promoted through social media and word of mouth. So I mean, it's huge. You have to really tap into that. And if you like, I see so many businesses that have just a Facebook page as their landing page, and that is crazy, because you need to be on Google, because Google is key, and you should have a business Google space, profile. You should have a website, because that makes you searchable, and that's a whole other conversation. So
Yeah.
you should not have all your eggs in one basket when it comes to social media.
Now, we just talked about that right before logging on, to the importance of an email list, right? Like
Yes,
having your audience. Exactly.
Yeah, because you don't want to, with algorithms changing, you not be able to reach your audience. Yeah.
Right.
So
And do you want me to talk about my favorite thing about Tampa Bay or Pasco?
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay.
I would love that.
I moved down here in '76, so I am a Pasco homegrown girl.
Okay. So
I
you
grew
see
up
the growth.
here. Yeah, scary growth. Yeah, so I grew up on the west side of Pasco in Newport News, and then I moved away, and then we moved back in 2006. So I've been in Pasco for 18 years, or as a resident for 18 years, and my kids have gone to school here. We've grown up here. The best thing about Pasco, I would say, is probably the green spaces. I love that, because it wasn't there when I was a kid. We had green spaces, but it weren't parks, and I love that we are called the
The
sports
trails,
coast.
all the trails. Yeah.
Yes, I wasn't around when I was a kid, and I love that our developed, our county commissioners and our developers are thinking about, preserving the green spaces for families. And I love that we're called the sports coast, so I love that. I love being outside. And then Tampa Bay, I just love Tampa Bay. I mean, we have the best beaches in the world, right?
Yeah.
According to Doc Beach, we have some of the best. So, yeah. And I like that Tampa is kind of a city feel without being too city. So,
Sure.
and that's my spiel.
Yeah. Well, thank you. We appreciate your time so much. And of course, everything that we've discussed, your links will be attached. And, and that's how you can definitely find out more information, show your support, and also, should like and follow and share these videos and watch these videos, to spread the word, right? Because it really
Yes,
is.
thank
It's
you.
just a new way of marketing. It's digital marketing, and it's at your
Yes.
fingertips, literally. So,
And if anything, COVID taught us to pivot, right? So you work in this space, you're constantly pivoting and trying to tap into where to reach the people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming on. Really appreciate your time.
Thank you for having me. It was an absolute
Yeah.
pleasure. Pleasure.
Thank you. We appreciate you.